What's going on, America? This is Kevin from Kevin's Corner. So let's try to make some sense out of this nonsense. You are the former FBI director, but you don't know what was going on under your nose in your own department. I mean, how did you get the job? And since when did you develop Alzheimer's? I mean, do you need some ginkgo biloba or something like that for your memory, James Comey? Over 200 and something times. I don't know. I don't remember. I can't recall. I don't know. I don't remember. I can't recall. Anything that might get me in trouble, I don't know. I can't remember. I don't recall, because that pretty much can compromise me. So you're telling me then that you run this organization. Somebody comes to you, hey, Comey, we should open up an investigation against the president-elect. Huh? On what grounds? Well, we got this dossier, and it says that he was involved with a lot of stuff with Russia, possibly collusion, and we need a FISA warrant. Would you sign off? Sure. I don't need the details. I'm not worried about if one day this all comes out and people say, well, you know, it might have looked like you had a political motive to go after President Trump. I didn't think about that. I didn't think about what I would say to justify me not substantiating any of the claims in this dossier. And I just said, don't bore me with the details. I don't need all those things. I don't know who wrote the thing. I don't know how the investigation, originated. I don't even know. It just popped up one day under my department. They overwrote me, I guess. They said, we don't need to tell Comey why we're starting this, when we started it, who started it. Forget about telling him who wrote the dossier or who paid for it. These aren't details that a man who claims he's meticulous about notes. These aren't details he need to know. And so when I go into the president and I say, hey, President, I need to talk to you all by yourself. Everybody else, leave the room. But yet, when I wanted to get a special counsel, I was talking about how afraid I was when I was with him alone, but yet now all of a sudden, I need to tell you something by yourself. So it's just me and you that have records of this. Listen. You might hear some stuff, President, about some peeing and some hookers in Moscow. It's nothing big. I'm just giving you a heads up. And then somehow the next day, it just comes out that this dossier is out now, all of a sudden. But you didn't tell him about the rest of that stuff, James Comey. You just felt the need to just tell him about some hookers and some peeing, all right? Not the real meat and potatoes of it. And yet at the same time, you never bothered to ask any type of questions to your staff or whoever brought you this garbage about who Christopher Steele is. Didn't even know that he was working for the FBI. Never met him, never really, I ain't hear nothing about this dude, even though he was getting paid to do work for us, even though this man was responsible for writing the dossier. And I guess you didn't know that Hillary Clinton's campaign paid for it either. What good are you as an FBI director and you ain't able to go snoop this out? You didn't even wait and say, dude, don't even run with this. Don't bring me no more garbage like this unless you got some proof. Because if I open up an investigation against a presidential candidate without proof, you do realize that this looks like that we're just targeting a campaign, opposition here. It looks like this is politically motivated. You do understand that. You're putting me in a compromising position. But no. Comey is so, I guess, incompetent. That's the only word I could think of. If he is saying that all of these things he didn't know nothing about, can't remember it, your memory has to be horrible if you can't remember 200 and something things about the department that you ran. And I could see if this was a case that was minor. Hey, Comey, it's this guy in Oklahoma named Yeoman Johnson. And, he has some tax evasion and fraud. I'm not going to bore you with it. I'm just going to handle it. Sure, take care of that. But to come to him and say, hey, we're thinking we might have to go after Donald Trump for Russia collusion and it not be him you're going after? So you're telling me it started off Carter Page. You're just telling me it started off with George Papadopoulos and Paul Manafort. And you didn't go to the presidential candidate and say, hey, we have some questions about these guys in your campaign. We got to give, it's our job to tell you about it, warn you, let you know we're going to be looking into these dudes. And We're going to throw maybe a wire on somebody, so if there is real Russians involved, we can catch the Russians. Not you, President-elect, not you. We want real Russians. But no, they never told him about this. They told him about some hookers peeing. They never told him that there was a complete dossier accusing him of Russia collusion. Yeah, they didn't tell him about that. They never told him that George Papadopoulos and Carter Page and all those guys are under investigation. President-elect, what should we do? What do you want us to do with these guys? Hey, how about this? Give him an option to fire those guys or whatever. But they didn't want that to happen, because then that would ruin the whole plot and scheme that they all came up with concerning this Russia collusion stuff. So they just said, we're going to wait and spring all of this out at once out of nowhere and say all these crazy random pieces of this puzzle somehow fits together. So we're going to back engineer a whole investigation. That's what we're going to do, because none of this stuff was a factor when Obama was the president. All these Russians running around, according to them, trying to get, involved in our election. And he gets the word and he just says, well, Putin, cut it out. But no, he didn't make it his mission to say, we got to really get serious about this. You know why? Because in his mind, Trump's not going to win anyway. It's going to be Hillary. Then Trump won, and everybody's going, you know what? Now, how can we put this crazy story together to make it seem like Trump somehow won based off of Russia collusion? And yet James Comey, in his professional career, all of his details and organization, he never stopped to just say, well, dude, you're bringing together all of these random pieces, and you want me to open up an investigation against a president-elect with no corroborating evidence, nothing. Did you fact check this? I mean, have you verified this? Is there any way that this could come back and blow back on me as the head of the department, where they're saying, hey, Comey, did you not know that some of the people working on this investigation hates Donald Trump and was biased? Did you not know Bruce Orr's wife worked for the company who produced the dossier and he was running back and forth? Did you not know that the guy who wrote the dossier was on your guy's payroll, then got fired, but was still communicating with Bruce Orr? Yeah, guy who works for you, but ain't even in that division for some reason. He's still helping out, put this thing together. And his wife works for Fusion GPS, conflict of interest, but that's not important. That's not important. No. Did you not stop to say, hey, Comey, how are all these leaks coming about this dossier that you apparently have in your possession under your organization? How are all these things getting out? I mean, I just talked to the president yesterday, but now all of a sudden Yahoo News somehow got the information. I never stopped to question, hey, guys, let's get in here for a meeting. Which one of you jerks gave this information to Yahoo News? Here I am going to the president and I'm briefing him on this, and then the next day I hear it's in Yahoo News. Who did it? No, he don't want to know those things. That wasn't important. Somehow all these leaks happening right under his nose. Can't do nothing about it. It's greater than me. My department's running like romper room. That's what it is. It's just straight up chaos, So I guess that's what he's really conveying to everybody during this last interrogation that he just went through. I was incompetent. I have a horrible memory. I can't put together details. And my department was doing whatever they want under my nose. And I just took it for face value that they were doing the right thing. And I was willing to sign off on stuff with no details. I didn't need those things. I just trusted everybody was up and up, even though this was the highest profile case we'd be dealing with. But I didn't find it necessary to get deep involved to make sure that we were doing the right thing. It wasn't necessary. Yeah. So unfortunately, I ain't got much to give you. Yeah, my fault, my bad. And then you wonder why he got fired. I mean, nobody should question that. For an FBI director to not know anything, I mean, anything that seemed like it could compromise him. Nope, don't know that, can't remember. Then what good were you? You were a director for nothing. That's it. That's what you're telling me. Worst ever. And he was, really. But we all know that James Comey knew about all the stuff. We all know that James Comey, he all that stuff that went on, he knew what was going on. But he's a part of that system, and now he's in a little bit of a pickle, and he's going to try to ride this out, dodge, double dutch, hopscotch through it. until the Democrats take over and squash the investigation. That's what he's doing. He was a part of the whole thing, and I hope they get him. But if they don't, the only people that can be blamed really is the Republicans, the head of the Republican Party. They just didn't want to make it happen. Paul Ryan, Mitch, whoever, they didn't push it. So is what it is. But Comey's testimony, I'm not buying it. It's a bunch of garbage. So anyway, God bless you. Get a chance, read that nonsense, because that's what it is. Pure nonsense. Find me on Facebook. Find me on Twitter. Check me out Wednesday nights at 7:30 live, my live radio blog talk show. And also check out Extreme Tees. The links are in the bottom. And so check them out. They got some Christmas specials. The promo code is Kevin, my name. And then if you want to donate to Kevin's Corner, feel free. There's links in the bottom to do that as well. All right. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification button. God bless. See you next time in Kevin's Corner.